the year that disco died, and U2 was in high school. Thank the Lord that they survived. Got my first taste on a cigarette 45, and since that kiss I rocked all day and partied every night. We still argue about who's better, Elton John or Billy Joel. We still wonder if Kurt really wrote the song she's singing. Oh no, we'll never stop believing it's the journey of our lives. So won't you help me pour some sugar on these memories tonight, singing long live rock, long live roll, long live big guitars and music for the soul, saying don't give up, don't grow old, long live crazy nights and records made of gold, long live rock and roll. Summer of 96.
Long live rock and roll. Welcome to yet another installment of the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus with Lou Lombardi and
your good friend Kevin O'Connor.
Kevin O'Connor.
And by your good friend, I mean all of your good friends. Not just Lou. I'm friends with all y'all out there.
All y'all?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
all y'all. You migrated to West Virginia.
Well, it's this music. It brings it out.
Oh, my.
Woo.
Oh, wow. So what's going on, guys? What's going on out there?
I don't know. What's going on out there with you?
I don't know, but we got a lot of good rock and roll for everybody tonight.
That's why I come here every week.
So let's get the party started.
Yes.
Preferably at the beginning. I've almost started these guys in the middle. We don't want to do that.
No.
Bands kind of get frustrated whenever you start their song.
We want to hear every second.
Got a little bit of housekeeping here before we get started. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Positively Pittsburgh Live and Click Vodka. Woo. All right. And a lot of good stuff. We've got a lot of announcements today. We've got some fun stuff. We've got a Loudini Weenie once again for you guys.
Sure.
This is the Disparrows from Los Angeles, California. I believe from Los Angeles, California. You can find them at reverbnation.com backslash
I'll drink
the
that.
Disparrows. This is called Sweet Surrender on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Time comes and goes, looked over my shoulder. My hands are worn down, my feet are tired and swollen. Are you here for me? Are you here for me? Try to help everybody, the hours move so fast. Put the pieces back, the best I know, the best I can. Are you here for me? Am I by myself? Sweet surrender, sweet surrender. I'm coming home to you. See the walls of Jerusalem, heard the mighty sound, slept on cobblestone streets, hoping you and I would meet. Are you here for me? Are you here for me? Paced up and down the halls, too many nights, cried myself to sleep, just to wake up in your arms. Are you here for me? Am I by myself? Sweet surrender. Oh, sweet surrender. I'm coming home to you. Oh, sweet surrender. came first. I'd break my heart into two. You know I'd die for you. Sweet surrender.
Sweet Surrender, the Disparrows,
Aye.
on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
A little bit of Eagles sounding in there. A little bit of
I hear the
Bob Seger.
Bob Seger, Wallflowers.
Yeah.
I want that brings me to a good question I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
I mean, like, how important? And we do this a lot. You know, we'll play somebody and we sort of discuss what we think they sound like,
Right.
or who they think we sound.
Yes.
I mean, how important is that? I mean, you know, a lot of bands don't like, a lot of people say, well, you know, I don't sound like anybody. I sound like me. I mean,
Yeah.
well, what do you think? I mean, how
Well,
important is it to sort of like, I mean, don't you think people need like a frame of reference for your sound?
Maybe, so they can kind of categorize you. I know there's stuff that I've recorded and I've played for folks, and you're like, oh, that's, you know, your song sounds like this, and I never thought it did, you know?
Yeah.
So I can see where bands are coming from, like, oh, no. But maybe it's just our analytical minds, our musical minds. We're trying to categorize everybody, saying, oh, I want to hear a song like this. I want to hear these guys, you know?
Well, I think that it's kind of important, actually, to have some sort of. I mean, of course, you sound like you. I mean,
Right.
you know,
Sure.
I mean, I've heard your songs; they're very distinctive. You definitely have your own thing, but you can hear things that have been floating around in your brain that you pulled in to create that. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing happens in a vacuum. But I think that it can actually be really useful to kind of have a basis. We're going to talk a little bit more about this as the program continues. But
Sure.
you know, what I like to think of is, you know, what does the sound say about the? In other words, the sound of the band itself. What does it appeal to in the person who likes the band?
Sure.
You know, like you know, I'll just give you before we're going to go on. We got Tarra Layne coming up next, but before we play this next song, just while we're playing it, think about like, you know, like AC/DC. You know, when I hear AC/DC, you know, to me they're the giant middle finger to like
Right.
to the world. You know what I mean? You know, I'm
Yes.
cruising down the road, Highway to Hell comes on. It's just like the giant screw you. I'm gonna, you know,
Exactly.
And I think that is the sort of like tone of what they have to say.
Sure.
It's sort of as a band, and it's their whole sound. It's not just the lyrics. It's the sort of muscular heavy rock,
Exactly.
you know, the simplicity of it. So as we're gonna play some Tarra Layne, Cherry Moonshine next. But as we're playing this song, just kind of think about it. And let's listen to Tarra. And let's kind of maybe think about what does the sound sort of communicate? What kind of vibe?
All right.
You know, what does it appeal to? With what is the appeal of it to the listener on a sort of psychological level or emotional level, or in terms of how they identify with it?
Right.
All right, this is Tarra Layne on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus, Cherry Moonshine. Crank this one up.
Taking, it's out of control. Maybe a plan, but I wrote my own. I don't need a leash to pull me along. The ice is breaking, the fire is lit. You won't be rescued if you're falling. It's sink or swim, that's your one warning. If I choose you, cherry moonshine. I'm not a hooker, I ain't a good girlfriend. Chances are you're not familiar with the reasons I don't get paid no good at lying. I had a man, he was way too kind. He couldn't kill the
about that Tarra Layne. That's a TARRALAYNE. ReverbNation.com/Tarra Layne. So we were talking about like what an artist's sound says.
Right.
And it's not just the words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the attitude.
It's the attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, this is kind of a difficult subject to kind of
is, but as I'm listening to this, I'm like, this is a strong woman. Woman. Did I say women?
woman.
Okay, good. This is a strong woman. She's laying the law down, and that comes across not only in her lyrics, the way she delivers them. She's not kidding around, man. She is telling you the way it is. So that's
and the sound of the song and the beat and the groove and the arrangement kind of all come together to like create.
That's no Air Supply song, Lou. That is no Air Supply song.
So that, I mean, I think that people that either maybe women that identify with that sort of role, or guys that find that attractive,
right.
Are going to gravitate or crank that up, when that comes on. So this is why I think that it's kind of giving people a sort of frame of reference about what you do as a musician can be really helpful, because it helps you kind of nail down the demographic and the psychographic of what you're going after.
Oh, exactly.
Because we're not throwing everything up against the wall to see what sticks. I mean, even within the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus canon of artists that we play here, which is always growing, by the way, there's stuff that's going to appeal more to certain people and not to other people.
Right.
Just even within the rock genre,
Sure.
I mean, people that like Springsteen, like when I say I mean like we buy his records and go to his concerts.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
People that like Springsteen probably aren't going to go to an AC/DC concert or Guns N' Roses concert.
Right.
Okay. So you have to kind of think about what Springsteen's music see. Psychologists, people who are relationship experts, have been telling us for years that you don't really fall in love with the person. You fall in love with how the person makes you feel. So you like how the song makes you feel. It's irrelevant, really. Right. As long as the song makes you feel a certain way, you're going to crank it up. You're going to go buy the CD. You're going to go to the concert. If that artist makes enough songs that make you feel a certain way, you're going to spend money. You're going to buy. You're going to buy a fan. You're going to buy the T-shirt.
CD,
you're going to wonder what you're going to identify with it.
Concerts.
I mean, I think that, a lot of the sort of like emo and goth sort of music is people that, relates to people that sort of feel like, man, I just don't fit in.
Kind of an outcast.
I'm an outcast, and they really
identify. These guys, they're outcasts too.
Yeah, and they know me. They're talking to me when they're singing these songs, you know. So I think that I think it can be really helpful for a band to kind of because then you can sort of formulate everything you're going to do, your look, everything. You can put it all together, all your marketing, the colors that you use, everything. I mean, going back to Springsteen, I mean, he still looks like, like a guy. He looks like a guy from New Jersey, but he's like the idealized guy from New Jersey. He's like a little more handsome. He's like, he's got jeans on, but they're like fitted perfectly. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? He's not like, a schlep.
Exactly.
So that's. I think that's really important, and I think I know a lot of musicians listen to this, and I hope you guys are paying attention, because I think this could really help you guys when you sit down to kind of put the whole package together. What does it look like? What does it sound like? Is it all congruent? Is it all kind of working? You know, are you if you're putting on heavy, goth, makeup and clothing, and then you sound like
John Denver. You sound like John Denver and look like that.
Or something like super mainstream, like a Shania Twain, or somebody like that. What's her name? Carrie Underwood.
Right.
Unless it was a lark. Something you were doing as to be ironic, but typically you wouldn't do this. So you want everything to kind of flow. So you think about that, and then you think about the artists. When you put out a certain sound, you start to think okay, well, who else sounds like this? And so you can go after that market. There's plenty to go around.
Right.
Like right now, we're listening to Lenny Kravitz, soulful, guitar-driven rock. So if that's your thing, especially if you're an African-American artist and you're doing, all you got to do is start hitting up his fans, say, hey, you like Lenny, you're going to like me too.
Like me too.
This next band is called Addiction. This is so funny. These guys messaged me on Facebook, and so they're like, check out her stuff. And I'm like, oh, from Athens. I'm like, Athens, Georgia.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Athens, Greece.
Are you serious?
Yeah. These guys are really cool, and
We're
so
international now.
Yeah. No, we've had a couple of international
I
acts
know.
in
It was
fast,
from
but yes, no,
London
yeah.
and whatnot.
But these guys are very
Wow.
cool. Check them out, Kevin, and let's think about their sound and what
Okay.
it says. This song's called "Bad Addiction." This is "Addiction" on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Hey, you, baby, you are the one, maybe the only one to say where do you go now? I'm on the action, it's your attraction. Give me a sign and detonate a chain reaction. I'm running out of roads, I'm full of dirty thoughts. I'm going crazy, can't you see it? Can you feel it? And be my bad addiction. A sound with no restrictions. The kind of science fiction about love's contradiction. Say the word. Come on, come on, come on. All night, baby, another deadly bite into our bedroom. Find that's where this night will end up. Into the danger zone, straight out to the unknown. So high we can't get so. Come on, I want you more. I'm running out of roads, I'm full of dirty thoughts. I'm going crazy, can't you see it? Can you feel it? And be my bad addiction. A sound with no restrictions. The kind of science fiction about love's contradiction. Say the word. Say the word. Say the word. I'm running out of roads, I'm full of dirty thoughts. I'm going crazy, can't you see it? Can you feel it? And be my bad addiction. A sound with no restrictions. The kind of science fiction about love's contradiction. Say the word. Come on, yeah. Come on and be my bad addiction. And make me love,
Wow.
Addiction with Bad Addiction here on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Okay, they sound like probably one of my favorite 80s bands, which was Rat.
Oh, wow. I was thinking the same thing.
I thought they really sound,
Yeah.
and it's just so great to hear that kind of rock.
Right. Well, the first thing that kicked me in the jacksie, if you don't mind me saying that,
Kicked me in the
kicked me right in the jacksie, was the driving drum, man. That drum beat is awesome. It had a real metal feel to it, but it wasn't that, I mean, it was, dare I say, tasteful. You know what I mean?
No.
It was there. It grabbed you by the cojones. And let you know that they were a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, the more I listen to it, I'm like, this has like almost a hair band, sound from the 80s, and Rat popped into my mind. It's so
Absolutely.
funny you say that, so.
You can get these guys on Well, I thank you, Chris Christos. That's who reached out to me. You're an awesome dude, man, and I hope we get to meet you in person someday. But you can go facebook.com/addiction.official. That's their official Facebook page, and reach out to them and tell them that you heard their song on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Spread the word about Loudini's Rock and Roll Circus and Addiction. You can find more about what we're doing at you can go to loulombardi.com, and there's all the past shows. You can hear everything there. You can go to loudinirockandrollcircus.com, and everything's there as well, whatever you like.
Sure.
Please follow us on Twitter at LLStrangelove. And what else? Oh, once again, thank you, Click Vodka, and thank you, Positively Pittsburgh Live, for helping us put this all together. So, so we were talking about the bands and their sound and how important that is to sort of like have that defined, in your mind, like, where you're going. Now, it's great to be eclectic, too, but see, eclectic bands appeal to an audience as well. They have there's a lot of artists that are very eclectic, and they have a whole thing too, and that says something about a person's ego or personality as well.
Right.
I mean, people that are very eclectic, they're very kind of worldly, and they're very sort of like open-minded,
right?
And they like to have their hand in a lot of different things. So you can use that to your advantage when you start to think about like, where am I going to find the people that might like my music?
Exactly.
So that gives you an idea about that. I'm going to play Shannon and the Merger next. Now, I get some people getting a little like itchy with me when I play some of the same bands over and over. Let me tell you why, guys. Okay, so when you hear me play a band, especially a band twice, back to back and back to back episodes, that's because they reached out to me and they said, "We have something else. Would you mind playing it?" Okay, so you reach out to me and you send me some stuff. We're like that's like awesome. So we don't have to go digging for people and finding people. So Bob Giacometti emailed me again. He's like, "We got another song." I'm like, "Okay, sure, we'll play it." Okay, so this is Shannon the Merger. This is called Elemental on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Good jam.
There's lots of folks in this world don't get along much. They always seem to disagree. There's so much shouting, so much spouting off of nonsense. It's like they need a referee. Here's a solution. It's elemental. Just say the V and then let me be me. It's very simple. It's elemental. And that's disparity. The answer seems elementary to me. There's lots of folks in this world, some who don't like me much. We always seem to disagree. They find me strange, think I'm deranged and kind of silly. They think there's something wrong with me. Here's a solution. It's elemental. Just say the V and then let me be me. It's very simple. It's elemental. And that's disparity. The answer seems elementary to me. There's lots of folks in this world, some I don't like much. I always seem to disagree. When I encounter some big fool with dumbass ideals, it's sometimes hard to not be mean. What's my solution? It's elemental. Just say the V and then I let people be. It's very simple. It's elemental. And that's disparity. The answer seems elementary. I let him be and then he lets it be. And then she lets you be and then you let me be. We can all let them be and we'll all remain free. 'Cause it's so elementary and it's
Shannon the Merger.
Yes,
I
yes.
was like, did not expect that ending for the type of song it was.
Right.
You know.
Hold on, don't say a word because you said the last one.
Okay.
Let me
I know who I think they sound like.
Okay,
that
let's see
sounds
if, let's see if we're
Go ahead.
missing persons. Why are you looking?
Very
at me
good.
like-
Very
why-
good.
why are you
I was
looking
going to
at me?
say a band that was almost the exact same band, Berlin.
Oh yeah,
Berlin or Missing
There you
Persons.
go.
Yep. Do you hear me? Is that
Right.
Missing Persons or Berlin?
That's missing persons.
Yeah, yeah.
Walk-
But I mean, not
Yeah.
that they. Okay, you guys didn't steal. We're not saying that.
No.
It's just that it's influenced by that. And some of the unique things I want to point out about that is, first of all, neither Missing Persons or Berlin would have an actual harmonica solo.
Right.
So that was very cool. That
Yes.
took this sort of new wave thing that they were doing and brought in like a little earthiness to it.
Right.
So it's very cool. And that's Shannon and the Merger, and you can find them at ReverbNation.com, Shannon and the Merger.
And if you can, if they're playing out, they're playing out near you. Please go see them because I've seen them in person, and they're most awesome.
Yeah, they're a really good band.
Yeah.
They're really, really cool. If Shannon's got good stage presence, it's a really cool group. So we do have, though, first of all, I want to let's back up and push, as
Hold
they
on
say.
now.
On our Thanksgiving show, I played a comedy bit at the
Yes.
beginning, and some people asked me about that. This is from a classic television show, 70s or early 80s?
Late 70s, early 80s. Yeah.
And I don't know the network. You remember the network, Kev?
I believe it was CBS.
It was on CBS,
CBS.
called WKRP in Cincinnati.
Aye.
And that was just like Kevin and I were like both grew up watching that. A lot of my friends who watched it.
Right.
And what was cool about WKRP in Cincinnati was it takes place in a radio station, and they actually played real rock and roll.
Right.
It was like one of the.
yeah.
See, you guys are spoiled because you got YouTube and you can see rock and roll anytime you want to. But in that time period, it was like kind of hard to see rock bands or hear
Sure,
rock bands
yeah.
on TV. It just wasn't there. And so WKRP actually featured real songs from real bands. I remember hearing. I mean, that's where I heard "Love Hurts" by Nazareth on there. I heard
Right.
"Hot Blooded" by Foreigner. And,
Yeah, yep.
stuff like that. So I had a lot of great memories. It was a really funny show, obviously. So it kind of disappeared. And you,
Yeah.
Kevin, you want to tell us why it was sort of like nowhere for a while?
Yeah, I'd love to tell you that, Lou. Yeah, well, after we played that little clip, it's funny. About a week after that, CNN had a story about WKRP. And here's what happened. It did its run. It's 4 years on CBS, went into syndication, and then disappeared. The reason it disappeared is all of that great rock and roll, the licenses ran out. So it's not like Nick at Night could do it because they didn't have the licenses to like the Bob Seger tunes and the Tom Petty songs and stuff like that. So basically, WKRP just sat on the shelves and collected dust. Until recently, Lou.
There's good news.
There's good news, folks, because somebody has released a DVD set, and they've gotten most of the licenses for those songs. So a good bit of those songs are in these DVDs. That's the good news.
That's the goodness. Now here comes the Loudini Weenie.
Here comes the Loudini Weenie. I got excited because I found WKRP on Hulu.
Hulu. You guys know what Hulu is? It's like one of
Yes.
those subscription services you
Yeah.
can watch TV shows on.
Exactly.
If you don't want to buy cable. Good.
So what I did is I clicked it the other day, started watching it, and I realized none of the original songs are on there. It's those real generic rock songs. Remember on the Brady Bunch where they'd be listening to a little transistor radio, and it'd be this god awful.
Really cheesy, like something that,
And it's kind of like that on KRP on the Hulu. It's kind of a heavier.
So
rock,
boo
but it's
you,
like,
boo hoo Hulu.
Loudini Weenie comes to you, Hulu.
Yeah, shame on you. You guys should ponied up.
Yeah.
And got the real tunes
up.
on there. I mean,
The
come
show's
on.
still funny though. I'll give it that. It's still funny, but yeah, it would have been much better if it had the real rock.
That's
and roll.
really what set that show apart. It was
Oh,
very fun. Of course, it had a
definitely.
great cast, and a lot of those actors, went on and did a lot of super fun
Howard
things.
Hessman.
Howard Hessman is in a
The
lot of
lovely and talented Lonnie Anderson.
Yes.
yes.
Mrs. Burt
Mrs.
Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds, right. Well, it's funny. Another show that kind of happened to was Miami Vice. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Every song was a top 40
Yeah,
song
that's
for
true.
that
That's
week.
true. And this was like in the mid '80s,
Yeah.
mid to late '80s. And a song. If you got a song on Miami Vice, it would get into
Oh,
the
yeah.
top 40 at the very
yeah.
least. At the very least. But Mr. Phil Collins, he
In
really,
the Air.
yeah, he had a lot of hits because of that show.
Glenn Fry.
Glenn Fry, too, yeah.
But the same thing happened. The licenses to those songs ran out, and all of a sudden, Miami Vice was no longer on TV. in syndication. So, well.
All right. Well, that doesn't happen here at the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Heck no, we'll play you. Just contact us.
Oh, so we'll play. We haven't gotten our television show yet, but that's coming soon. All right. This is my good friend Robert DiMaio. He's a great guitar player. Check it out. This is called Ludi's Delight. Robert DiMaio on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus.
Wow.
Robert, nice job, buddy.
Robert makes me go crazy over here. He's wild man on that guitar. Turned into Christopher Walken.
Oh.
Holy cow. That's awesome, Robert.
Yeah, and it's just a good example. If you go to Robert's CD baby page, you know, right underneath it's got his name, and then it says recommended if you like Jeff Beck, Steve Vai, or Eric Johnson. So
Right.
you know you can put yourself in a sort of category, and it can actually help you. So Robert's doing that exact thing. cdbaby.com/artist/ Robert DiMaio. That's RobertDimaio. So please give Robert some love there on CD Baby. He's a great
Give him
guy.
some loving.
So what else is going on, Kevin? You got anything coming up? You got any announcements?
No announcements, man. I'm pretty much announcement free.
Well, I'm going to give an announcement. We are. I'm going to be doing a very special show on New Year's Eve with the Super Monkey Boys. Exactly, but we're calling ourselves Supervana, and we're going to be a Nirvana tribute act for one night, and it's going to be a fun show at the Altar Bar New Year's Eve. I will get the full details with the other bands that are playing, but I will tell you there's going to be a Rage Against the Machine tribute band and a Pearl Jam tribute act. So it's going to be like all 90s all night. So come on down to Altar Bar. What you guys want to do, if you want to get some more information on this, is you can go to facebook.com/Supervana. And it's all there. You can get tickets ahead of time and everything. So it's going to be a good time, and we're really looking forward to it. To crank it up for it. We had a first full rehearsal for it.
How'd that go?
It went great. It was yesterday. It was good. It was a good time. We're gonna have a good time with this. So,
nice.
Hey, thank you, Positively Pittsburgh Live, for having us on your network. Thank you, Click Vodka, for all the booze and the alcoholism. We appreciate that. Our people, our rehab sponsors, are very happy about that. Okay, and all right. I'd like to thank all the bands tonight. The Disparrows,
Yes.
the lovely and talented.
Aye.
Whew, makes my heart flutter. Tarra Layne, thank you. All the way from Athens, Greece. Addiction. Thanks, guys. We really enjoyed it. We're going to be playing some more Addiction in the future.
Oh, definitely.
Thank you, Shannon and the Merger, for Elemental. So check those guys out too. For getting us Luddy's Delight. You tell me if I'm saying this right, Kevin. It's Luddie. Is that Luddy or Ludi?
Oh, I'm going to go with Ludi.
Ludi or Luddy? By maybe Luddy or Ludi. By Robert DiMaio. So check out Robert on CD Baby. We just gave his information.
Aye.
Okay, now we've got Silk 9. This is a hard rock band from the Pittsburgh area. Hey guys, thank you so much.
Grazie.
Grazie. And we'll see you guys next week on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. This is Tears, Silk 9. You can find them at Reverb Nation. Silk 9, that's just SILK with a number 9. Tears on the Loudini Rock and Roll Circus. Lou and Kevin O'Connor. We'll talk to you guys soon. Rock out.